It's very addictive, so it's addictive like drugs. There is a food association to make. It's a combination of high fat and high carbohydrates. The combination of high fat and high carbohydrates is very addictive because it was found to be because it works strongly on the compensation center. In the center of the brain. The U.S., Canada, Germany, and a Swiss team of scholars have conducted research on 206 people. We did a very special experiment. And the people who participated in the experiment, I was paid a certain amount of money to play computer games. Also, photos of well-known snacks were presented to the subjects. Sugar-oriented, fat-oriented, and things made of sugar and fat. The researchers showed photos of snacks and then asked the participants to do the experiment. They were asked to choose the snack they wanted. And while the subjects carefully chose, their brain waves were monitored. What the researchers discovered from their observations is that, first, subjects added more food to the combination of fat and carbohydrates. The fact that you want to pay for it. Second, rather than sugar or fat snacks, it's a combination of fat and carbohydrates. It was the fact that the reward center part of the brain was much more active when responding to snacks. To explain these reactions in more detail, in the case of snacks that combine fat and carbohydrates, what to eat in the brain, it also has a normal function that adjusts how much to eat. It means it's gone. Instead, the brain uses a combination of fat and carbohydrates as a much more nutritious food than it actually is. He reacted with certainty. Professor Dana Small of psychology at Yale University, who led the study, said that it was made of fat and sugar. Food has its own way of working at the brain compensation center. It explains that when fat and carbohydrates are combined, they send a much stronger signal to the compensation center. The researchers in the study found that these reactions usually lead to overeating. In the case of drug addiction, it concluded that the same poisoning reaction as observed occurs. Scholars emphasized that the combination of high-fat, high-carb food is almost non-existent in nature. In nature, breast milk is the only food that combines jap-bang and carbohydrates, which is very good for survival. I assumed that it had such a composition ratio because it was important. Of course, the fat in breast milk is only 3%. And the carbohydrate is only 7%. But most processed snacks have about 24% fat and 57% carbs. The seriousness of the problem lies in the fact that there are so many of these foods available everywhere that they are very easy to buy. The 10,000 years since humans began harvesting grains and eating carbohydrates have been a long time since we started to eat them. It's not enough time for genes to adapt. Of course, our brains also have pizza, burgers, donuts, potato chips, chocolate bars, etc. For the first time in human history, there is no time to form a mechanism to respond appropriately to the food that has emerged. Dr. Mark Titgemeyer, a German metabolism researcher who participated in the study, said, "When we have food, we have food. I usually say that I never stop, even if I'm full because I've never refused. So I tried to pick up just one greasy sweet cookie. But I was tempted to take the second. Third, even if you eat everything you're eating, nothing strange has happened. But remember that it was the first cookie that led to the temptation. There will be a need. Of course, the best way to prevent these mishaps is to eat high-fat, high-carb food in your home. It will be important to fundamentally block the source of temptation by not buying